Welcome back, everybody. My next guest tonight was also in the Capitol when it was overrun by violent extremists. We taped this interview right before Congress resumed their debate this evening. Here's my conversation with Republican Congressman of Illinois, Adam Kinzinger. Congressman, thank you for being here on this extraordinary and extraordinarily terrible day. I'm so sorry for what happened today on the Capitol, for our country, but also for you and your staff. Is everybody okay?
Yeah, everybody's good. I've been anticipating this for a while, and so I didn't have staff come in today. So I'm thankful for that, but we're kind of under siege here. It feels like a little bit.
That is interesting that you perceived this threat ahead of time based upon knowing that there was going to be this rally down the street at the White House. Is that what put you on guard?
Yeah, it is. You know, all you have to do is hear, the words of the president talking about basically storming D.C. in different words prior to this, convincing people that an election was stolen. If you truly believe that an election was stolen and the government's run by, as QAnon believes, Satanist pedophiles, you can fully expect something like this to happen. And you just see the chatter on Twitter where people talking about, 1776 moments. So I knew it was coming. I wasn't surprised, but it was definitely a surprising day.
Well, tell us what it was like in the chamber. When did you find out that it was happening, and how were you informed that you needed to leave for your safety and the safety of the staff?
I was lucky because I was on the House floor at the beginning of the proceedings. And as I started to look at Twitter, and I was getting really kind of that feeling that something was about to go down. And plus the president's speech earlier in the day put me on edge. And then I started to see the barricades were being stormed. And I made the decision then to go back to my office. And I'm glad I did. But my friends and stuff I talked to on the floor was obviously something surreal, like end of times kind of movie. And, when they're pulling the escape hoods and putting them on their heads, which we never thought we'd have to use, that's crazy.
What do you think needs to be said and done to calm the situation down? Because you were never one. You've constantly been a critic of the idea of opposing the certification of the election. You've called the president's behavior irresponsible even before the election. But what needs to happen now so that this is not perceived as normal? What needs to happen to those people, the majority of the Republicans, if you combine the Senate and the members of the House, thought that this denial of the certification argument was a good idea? What needs to happen with those people?
Well, unfortunately, the only thing that can happen is a political decision. But on leadership, leaders in this party who convinced people that somehow Congress could magically pick the next president of the United States because they thought it was going to be easier to just avoid that pain of saying, no, it's not possible, than what we face now. I mean, we have to have a real awakening moment in our party. The GOP has got to get out of the business of culture wars and get back into the business of giving people hope and opportunity and actually making the case for what we believe instead of thinking we can do that through power and, all caps tweets.
Now, there's a quote that's sometimes attributed to Huey Long and sometimes to Sinclair Lewis, and it's, when fascism comes to America, it will be cloaked in American flags. Was this an attempted fascist coup? Domestic terrorism?
Yeah,
How would you characterize it?
I characterize this as a coup attempt. And, the good thing in the United States is the guardrails of the Constitution are going to hold. They will hold. But one thing this does show us is the fragility of democracy. And when you have people storming the Capitol, saying things like 1776, a few people with Confederate flags, come and occupy the Capitol. You see guns drawn in the people's chamber, where this debate is supposed to happen. And you see a president non-repentance on Twitter. It's absolutely a coup attempt. That's exactly what we'd call it if it happened in Belarus or any other country.
I'm sure you've seen the photograph of the security officers in the chamber of the House with their guns drawn, pointed at the broken window of that famous door that we all see the president walk through for the State of the Union, that you walk through every day as a part of your job. Will you ever look at that door the same way again?
No, I never will. And in fact, there are bullet scars in the house from a terrorist attack in the 50s from, I think, Puerto Rican separatists. And that's always kind of shown as, what can happen. This is going to be another thing. So now, in 50 years, when people give tours, they're going to talk about those bullet scars and the scars from today. But I'll tell you what, the democracy will survive, but people have got to get out of this mode of hating somebody with a different opinion, passionately debate, but recognize that politics was invented to prevent violence, and our politics has been broken for so long.
You tweeted, leaders who led this should all resign so the adults and truth tellers can #restore our GOP. Who are those leaders? Could you be more specific? Does it include the president and the vice president? Should they leave now? Should the 25th Amendment be invoked?
Yeah, so I don't want to get into naming names, but on the president, I think that's something we need to look at. If he's going to stay in office, it's only 2 weeks, so it's like, how can you quickly do this? But if he's going to stay in office and continue to be non-repentant on Twitter and to say that people shouldn't be violent, but they were justified in doing this, I think that's a conversation that will happen tomorrow morning. And I think, we'll see where that goes. But the reality is everybody that led, our supporters who look to us for trust, they deserve to tell the truth to them now.
While you have been a vocal critic of the president, I'm just curious, did you vote for impeachment last year?
No, I didn't.
Would you like another bite at that apple?
I think if it was different now, I would certainly, if I knew what I knew now, I would certainly probably consider that. I will say, though, a big difference between before the election and after election, when you try to undermine the very pinnings of democracy, significantly dangerous.
We have to take a quick break. When we come back, I will ask Representative Kinzinger how countries around the world are seeing what happened in America today.